And a happy afternoon to you. Good afternoon. It is Peggy McColl and we are live. This is our Messages of Magic. The idea behind this particular call is to serve you and be here to address any questions that you may have as it relates to manifesting any desire that you have in your life. So what we'll do is, and what we have been doing is, I've been addressing questions that some have been submitted in advance when we get on this call, and other folks are joining the call as we are announcing them in advance, and they are asking their questions or making their requests while we're on the call together. So either way, if you have a question for me today, be sure to type it in. You can type it in either on the Facebook Live page, or you can type it in on the Instagram page. Either way, I will certainly address it. And hello, Giselle. Hi, Pamela. And hello, everyone that's over on the Instagram account as well. So we're doing both at the same time. Hi, Patricia. We're on Instagram Live and we're on Facebook Live at the same time. We have a couple questions that have been submitted in advance, and I'm going to address those first. And they're great questions. You may or may not have a question, or may have the similar question. Hey, Sharon, good to see that you're here. I was actually thinking about Ireland this morning because I'm going to plan a trip there next summer with my husband. Good to see you calling as well. Hi, Lorette. Nice to have you on the call. Great to see everyone here. All right, so let's get to our questions. The first question that was asked is a question that was submitted by Carly. And let me just move it over so I can see it here. There we go. So Carly has been on a lot of our calls. I'm very grateful for you for being here. And she's asking a great question. And you, as I said, you may or may not have a question. Hello, Samantha. But either way, listen up, because some of the questions that get submitted are fabulous questions. And I think you're going to enjoy the question and, of course, the answer as well, because that's what I'm here for, is to answer any questions that you have on manifestation. So the first question that we have is from Carly, and she's asking, I thought my goal was what I wanted, but I'm not feeling excited daily. How can I fix this? All right, this is a great question, and I suspect maybe some of you can relate to it. I certainly can relate to this. So if you have a goal and you're finding that you're not excited, there could be one of two reasons. The first reason is it's not really a goal that you're excited about. Now, what I suggest is that when you set your goal, especially your C-type goal, that you find a goal that you're not only excited about, but it really scares you to some degree as well. And a C-type goal, as Bob Proctor defines it, a C-type goal is what's also known as, or what I love to affectionately call, a stretch goal. It's a goal that's going to cause you to stretch and grow. So what happens for people is they'll set a goal that is, in their mind, perhaps even unattainable, because they have no idea how they're ever going to get there, but yet it is a goal that they'd really love, but their paradigm starts to pull them back. And it will pull you back in different ways. One of the ways that your paradigm will pull you back is because you may not think that you're capable of achieving that goal. Or you may think of the goal, get excited about the goal, perhaps even feel a little scared about that goal, but the idea of having it for you, you might associate it could threaten another part of your life that's really important to you. For example, if you're someone that loves to invest time with your family or with loved ones, and you're thinking that if you pursue this goal, that somehow it's going to compromise other values that are really important to you. And therefore, if you think that, you may not get excited about the goal, or the excitement level may wane. So sometimes the idea around a goal and the excitement around a goal, or lack of excitement around the goal, could be, as I said, one of two things. Either it's not the right goal for you, and that's okay if it's not, just change it, or your paradigms might be at play. And quite often it's the paradigms that are at play, because you think about the goal and you think, you know, I'd really love to have that. But then you start thinking, oh, there's going to be a lot of work involved, or I'm going to have to sacrifice this, or, you know, what if I don't get there, or what if I risk it all and then I lose even more than what I could potentially gain? Anything like that will definitely create a cause or something to hold you back, and you won't pursue it. So you must be paying attention to what are your paradigms. What are your paradigms around what you believe is possible for you? What are your paradigms around you having that goal materialize in your life? And if you have a paradigm that's non-supportive and you would love to achieve that goal, then what I suggest is you create new paradigms that are going to support you in the achievement of that goal. So let's use an example. Let's say you decide that there's a particular goal that you want to accomplish. And of course, in this case, I'm addressing Carlin's question, so I don't know what her goal is. But what she said is she's finding that she's no longer excited about it. And so let's say that this is a goal that she really, really, really does want, but yet she has no idea how she's going to get it. What I would say is ask yourself this question, anticipating that that goal has already been accomplished, and it was accomplished with ease, and it was accomplished without compromising any of your values. How does that feel? Wow, that feels good, right? So if you can imagine for a moment that the actual achievement of that goal was an easy achievement, that it was not something that jeopardized any of your other values in your life, and you truly felt that joy in your heart that it was already here, and you would love to accomplish that goal, and you feel like, you know what, I would love it if it was easy, or if I did it in a certain period of time or whatever, and you realize, yes, I'd really love that, I'm not going to allow my paradigms to hold me back, then it is the right goal. So this is what we call a game. You're really playing a game, and it's a game of trusting your emotions, of managing your emotions, of paying attention to your emotions, of really being consciously aware of what's going on inside here, inside you, because you're a creative being. You're also a destructive being. So you want to pay attention to what's going on within you, so that if you're not producing the results that you want, that you can change it, and that you can change it effectively and quickly. So Giselle is asking the question. Giselle is saying, and great to have you here, Giselle, and thank you for asking the question. Giselle is saying, can paradigms get in the way of visualizing then? I sometimes can't get a picture of my goals. Absolutely, paradigms can get in the way of visualizing, for sure. And I love that you're even asking that question, because what that says to me is that you've noticed it. That if there was an inkling of that idea that I think my paradigm might be getting in the way of my goal, because as you're saying, you haven't been visualizing the way that you would love to see your goal, or you're not seeing any images at all, then your paradigm's in the way. So you've got to relax. I find that the more you're relaxed, and this, as I said, is a game. You're going to be playing a game. You're going to condition yourself to do these things and to feel this way over a period of time. So in the beginning, it may not feel natural. In the beginning, it probably will feel very unnatural for you. However, through repetition of implementing these ideas over and over again, you will start to produce a better result. Okay, I'm not sure what the name is here, but our aesthetic says, how is it possible to achieve my goal easier when everyone else has achieved their goals by working so hard for a period of time? Working hard does not mean it's not easy. It's all perception. I wrote a book, it's on my bookshelf over there, called Darn Easy, right? And so Brian Proctor and I wrote this book together. The book is called Darn Easy, and the subtitle is Work Half as Hard, Earn Twice as Much while living the life of your dreams. Work half as hard, earn twice as much by living the life of your dreams. You see, if you think it has to be hard, but yet unenjoyable, like I work a lot more hours, I believe, than what most people do, but I love it. I'm passionate about the work that I do. And there are times when I'll look at my agenda and it is jam-packed full, like today, and I've got a lot of extra projects that I'm working on, and I'll look at that, but I don't look at that as difficult. I don't look at that as something that is grueling. I look at it with love, with joy, with gratitude, because I'm grateful to do the work that I do. I'm grateful to be serving people. And I know this, the impression of increase says that the more value you bring to the world, the more you will receive. So what most people do is they focus on, or their intention or attention is focused on what they're going to get, not what they're going to give. But where magic, and this is called messages of magic, where magic really starts to happen in your life is when you change that focus. You change that focus over to, how will I serve today in a way that's going to bring greater and greater value to the world? How will I serve today? What will I do today that's going to help another or many others? You start approaching your work differently. So does it mean that you're not working hard? And we'll use that word very loosely. No, it probably means that you are working. You're doing things that you get into a habit. You see, people that have created success are in the habit of doing the things that unsuccessful people are not willing to do. And hence the reason why it is not crowded along the extra mile. The book is called Darn Easy. I'm just going to grab it. Hold on one second. This book is called Darn Easy, and I co-authored it with my friend, Brian Proctor. It's a hardcover book. You can also get it in audio, and it is a book on how you can work half as hard, earn twice as much while living the life of your dreams. You see, Brian Proctor and I met way back in the 80s when I was attending his father's seminars over and over and over again, and we became friends, and we're good friends to this day. And when Brian and I got together a number of years ago, he had actually come to an event of mine where he was a guest speaker. And while we're at the event, afterwards, he came up to me and he said, I'd love to write a book with you. So we sat down and we really determined what we have collectively that we could share, that we could collaborate on with a message that would bring something of value to the world. And so we thought about our own lives, what we've learned. I mean, Brian has obviously been exposed to Bob Proctor's material his entire life, and he's 58 years of age at this point. And I've been studying with Bob Proctor now for 40 years. I was very young when I first started studying with him. And so we came together and we thought, what do we have that's a value that we could put into a book that we could bring to the world that would help people? And it's this whole idea, really addressing that question that you're asking, is people think they have to work hard. And it's not that you don't have to do work. You absolutely must do the work. And successful people will do work that unsuccessful people aren't willing to do. But it doesn't have to be grueling. It doesn't have to be unenjoyable. It can be completely enjoyable. I noticed actually as we got on this call, Trace Haskins is on the call, and he lives in Austria, and he is a business partner of mine. And Trace and I started working together many, many years ago. Now, Trace works hard. I think some people might define it as hard, but Trace loves it. He also doesn't mind putting in the extra effort or the extra energy because it brings great value to the world. We also have on this call, we have Celine, and she's also part of our wonderful Dynamic Destinies team. And Celine, I'll get emails from her at 11 o'clock at night. And Eric Webb, who is Celine's partner, who she manifested into her life, Eric is also one of our team members, our very valued team members. And last night at 5 to midnight, he sent me a document. Actually, he sent it to the entire team. Now, I'm very blessed with a phenomenal team of people that I've attracted into my life. Now, I believe we all have wonderful balance in our lives. Trace, as an example, is a father and a husband, and he enjoys quality time with his wife, his lovely wife, Sabrina, and with their son, Luke. Now, Celine is also very much a family person. She's got a relationship. She's got other things that she's interested in, and she has wonderful balance in her life. And they love what they do. See, Celine just posted right on Instagram. She says, we love what we do. That's also a secret to success, and why it doesn't feel like it's grueling work is because when you love what you do, you're willing to do it whatever hours it takes. Like today, as an example, we're doing this Facebook Live, Instagram Live in the middle of the day. And oh yeah, that's right. Go see A1 says, I watched Bob Proctor Mindset 2020, and he mentioned how he met you. Yeah, I did meet him, and I'm so grateful to know Bob. He's a wonderful friend of mine. And so we're doing this Facebook Live here now and the Instagram Live here for about 30 minutes, which we've been doing now for about twice a week. Although on Friday this week, I'll make an announcement later, we're doing something even more special. So it won't be a 30-minute session. It's going to be a 2-hour session on Friday. And I'm going to share with you the best of what I've learned in the last 25 years of being in business, because on December 20th, 1994, I incorporated Dynamic Destinies, Inc. And I've continued to build and grow this business into being the success that it is today, with every intention to make it even greater and bigger and reach more people in the years following. And so as a result of that, my day today, I have back-to-back calls. I'm also creating some new products. I've got a presentation that I'm preparing. I'm delivering another presentation tomorrow, which I've already prepared, but I've got to go over it. And so there's a lot of extra work. So the day started, I had my first meeting at 8 a.m. this morning. So I was up early in my office, and I've been pretty much in either creation mode. Hey, Carly, good to see you here. Creation mode, or on client calls or doing Q&A calls for many hours. And it will go on until this evening. And I was actually sending Trace an email earlier today, and I was saying to him that I've got a number of oh yeah, thanks, Celine. I've got a number of recordings to do today, and I said that I was giving him my agenda, and I said I'll attempt to get it done between 5 p.m. and 6:30, but we have guests arriving here at 6:30. I have to get ready for them too, and of course they probably will stay a couple hours and head out, and I'll do it later this evening. And I find that now typically that's not normal. I don't usually work evenings, and I don't usually work weekends unless it is one of my own events or I'm traveling to an event where I'm speaking. However, I will absolutely and happily make the sacrifice, if you will, I'll use that word very lovingly, to work extra hours or weekends. Thank you very much, Natalie. If it's necessary, if it involves serving people, or if it's going to get me closer to my goal, or it's going to help other people get closer to their goals. So you're going to do what you want to do. And the thing is, when you are truly doing work that you love, when you are in the spirit of bringing great value to people, it doesn't feel like work. My work never feels like work. As a matter of fact, when my day is done, if I've been on the phone with some of my private mentoring clients or teaching a class or doing Q&A calls, I'm like cranked up, like totally pumped. So one of the secrets to success is find something that you're really passionate about and then dedicate your life to it, because I think that's really, really key in the whole process of creating great success. Okay, so let's keep going down here. I want to see if there's any other questions that have been posted here. Find a job you love, Patricia says, and you'll never work another day in your life. I love my job. That's cool. Thank you. And thank you, Rod. I really appreciate it. Okay, so Rod is asking a phenomenal question. So thank you, Rod. I really appreciate you asking this question. Rod is saying, thank you for doing this class. When you first bought your first dream house without having the money, how did you manage that process? How did you come to that decision to buy it? And at what point in your studying did it just feel right to buy the house? I love that question. Yeah, and I think it's really important. Like, part of the process involves really knowing yourself. Actually, and I have a course I teach called Manifest Your Dream Home. And in that course, I talk about that. I talk about how important it is to know yourself. Right? Know what your thresholds are for risk as well, because there's risk involved. Of course, with risk, you have gain. And so the process involved, I was going through a divorce at the time. We're going way back in time. We're going back to the early 1990s. And my first husband and I, Charles, and I had a home out in the country, and we were attempting to sell it. We couldn't sell it. But I never lost sight of the goal. I saw myself living in a beautiful home with my son, Michel. So I declared it. I wrote it on a goal card. I am so happy and grateful that I'm living in my beautiful home that I own with my son, Michel. And so I had this goal card, and on the goal card, it was written as if the goal had already been accomplished. So in present tense, I am so happy and so grateful now that. But I described the home. I described it in detail. 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, double car garage in a beautiful neighborhood, trails, a park nearby, all of those things. It created a greater vision of the outcome that I desired. All right. So here's the steps. You're hearing them right here. 1, I decided I was going to buy a home, even though I didn't know how. And the greatest message I've ever learned in the whole process of success is that you do not have to know how you're going to accomplish it. Just decide, would you love it? Is that something that you would love? If it's something you love, then get a hold of that goal and don't let go, like a dog with a bone. That's another one of my books. I should have pulled that one off the shelf as well. So on my goal card, and I have my goal card right here. Let me just pull this out. I know I just messed up my little Instagram page here. Sorry about that, guys. Sticking my, I've got a little card in my wallet from my son. It says, love you. It was for Mother's Day. It just fell out. Okay, so I had my goal card, and I always carry a goal card with me. And I have my goal card, and on my goal card, it's like, I, Peggy McColl, I'm so happy and grateful that I live in my beautiful home, and I described it. And then I went looking. I took action. I started looking at homes. So I would go to open houses on weekends because they have those kinds of things in the real estate market. So Saturday and Sunday, there'd be open houses, and I would go to those open houses. Or I would go to builders that were building houses in new neighborhoods, and I would go and look at the homes. And then I heard about this draw called Dream of a Lifetime, and I bought a ticket for it. And so when I went to see the home, it was a beautiful home, and it was exactly what I described. It was in the neighborhood that I described. It had 4 bedrooms. It had 3 bathrooms. It had a double-car garage. It was beautiful. It was new. It was beautifully decorated and furnished. So I bought a ticket on the draw, and I saw myself and my son living in it. And I visualized that every single day, multiple times a day. I really saw us living in it. Well, I didn't win the house. But because the goal didn't manifest the way I had hoped it would manifest, I didn't throw out the goal. Most people just let go of their goal. They don't find the way that they're going to achieve the goal. And because they don't find the way, they just get rid of the goal. Well, I don't. And I've learned not to. You don't have to know how. Let the universe provide the how. Our responsibility, your responsibility, is to feel as if you already have it now, and to feel the joy of that, feel the gratitude of that. And when you have that, when you genuinely are feeling as if you'll have it, you will feel that goal manifest into form. So Pascal is asking, how long should a visualization session last? This is kind of like an all-day thing. I could be sitting here right now with you, and I'm doing this actually because I've got my eye on another waterfront home. You got to see yourself in it, and you do it all the time, right? It's not something that you can just close your eyes and sit back. You could do this, of course, for 20 minutes a day or twice a day or whatever, and visualize. The point is, what's required to manifest the goal is alignment. Alignment. You've got to feel as if you're there now, right? So what does that mean? It means that when you're looking at the window, you're seeing the view that you would see if you're living in that home. When you're doing your dishes, you'd be doing the dishes in the home that you're living in. When you go to bed at night, you're going to bed in the bed in that home, in the new home. Now, if you don't know exactly what it looks like, you can start to imagine, you can get some ideas. But as you take action and move it toward, which is what I did, your pictures become even clearer. So what happened was I didn't win the house, but somebody else did. And then he put it on the market. And then when I saw it was for sale, I went to see it. I didn't have the money to buy it, but I had the faith. So even though I felt very scared, I absolutely, Rod, I love that you're asking the question. I'm going to be real honest with you. I'm honest with everybody, and everything that I'm saying is that, Sidhu's saying, is it necessary to visualize at 5 a.m.? No, it's not. I'm usually sleeping at 5 a.m. You can visualize whenever you want. So the point is that I felt scared. So when I was making the decision, I knew this about myself. If I make a decision or I make a commitment, especially a legally binding one where I'm going to take one of these things called a pen and sign my name, I will follow through. I'm going to follow through. I believe that about myself. I also believe in the laws of the universe. And I believe that if I set my mind on any outcome that I desire, that I will manifest it into form. I believed it. And at the point that I made the decision to buy that home, I'd already been studying personal development then for around 14, 15 years. So I'd already been deep in this study. But this was a big leap. It was a giant leap for me to make this decision to buy this home because it was a considerable amount of money. And I signed my name on a legally binding contract that basically said there's no way out. You must follow through. And I did follow through. And as a result of doing that, I ultimately ended up earning the money to buy the house from a stock transaction. And I didn't know anything about the stock market. I just happened to be working for a company that went public. And as an employee, we had the opportunity to buy shares. And so that's what I did. Now, did I have any inkling of how this was going to manifest into form when I made the decision to buy it? No, I did not. But I had faith in the universe, and I had faith that the absolute perfect unfoldment, the scenario for me to manifest that, would come. So what I worked on during the process of purchasing it, and until the point where I moved in, what I worked on was building my faith. I built the faith, believing in the unseen, believing in the outcome as if it was already done. And I felt it and stepped into that experience every day, meaning embodying the emotions of already having it done. Was it challenging? Absolutely. Did it take a while to actually get into the groove of doing it almost like an automatic way? Yes, it did. But I conditioned myself. You see, we're all habitual beings. You must condition yourself. So if your conditioning has not been supportive of your outcomes, you must condition yourself to do that. That is why, I'm just going to grab my little sign here. That is why the Power Life script works. And this is really where and when I created this process of scripting my life as I chose for it to be, as if I was already living it. And I declared it with emotion, with only positive words. And that's exactly what I focus on every single day. I started listening to my Power Life script back in the 90s. And that's why I, believe so much in this, because it can manifest miracles into your life. Absolutely. So those, Rod, it was a fabulous question. Those are the steps that I take. And good to see you here, Mick. Mick is here. M. Sean Peterson, the author of Stella and the Timekeepers, a phenomenal book. I suggest it. Go and get it right now. And you might want to get one as a gift as well for someone that you love and care about. It's a book that fits into 4 quadrants. That's men, women, boys, and girls. So it's a great gift idea. Put it in a stocking if you want, but head on over to Amazon and get a copy of Stella and the Timekeepers. It's M. Sean Peterson's book. And it's a very, very valuable book. Okay, we have one more question that was submitted in advance, and I'm going to get to that question right now. This is a question from Fiona. Fiona has said, I am increasing my self-image as a wealthy person, and I'm so focused on living in a wealthy consciousness. Since this is new to me, it's challenging to imagine this state. I'm currently reading Neville Goddard's The Wealth Mindset, and I'm understanding the concept. I think I need practical ways to imagining a wealthy consciousness. Can you help? I hope this makes sense. It's like, for example, describe what it's like to wear the color red. I've never worn it. Thank you. I greatly appreciate your input in my life. Okay, great question. Phenomenal question, Fiona. So first of all, and I want everyone to really understand that and really listen to this, okay? You can all imagine what it's like to live a wealthy life. Everyone can. If you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So you want to realize that, first of all, if you're getting in your own way and you're thinking, well, I don't know how to do it, you're in your own way, because you absolutely do. Every one of us has imagination. Every one of us. I have it. You have it. Everyone on this call has imagination. You just got to tap into it. When we were little kids, we used our imagination very effectively. I was a little girl. I played with dolls. We imagined. We played games outside. We're imagining. You can still do it today. And it's easy to do because we're so influenced by media, right? Go online, look at images of living a wealthy life. If you were living a wealthy life, what would you be doing? Would you be doing a lot of philanthropy? Would you create your own foundation? If so, what would it be? See yourself giving speeches at your big black tie event where you've just raised $16 million, whatever it is. Just use your imagination. Yes, it's going to take some effort involved, but use your imagination. See yourself driving in your Rolls Royce, if that's what you want to drive, or some other vehicle. Like I often have told the story of, there was a Jaguar. I saw a commercial on TV one day, and it was a Jaguar convertible F-Type. It was a hot little car. And it turned my head. I saw the commercial on TV, and it's like, whoa, what was that? And I remember Brian Proctor had talked to me about it as well, because it was the same thing. He had the same reaction. He saw that car. I was like, wow. So what did I do? I went down to the Jaguar dealership and I test drove one. And so I test drove it, so it allowed me to see myself and feel myself driving the car. Now, you don't actually have to go down to the dealership and test drive, but you can imagine. You can go to the dealership. Anybody can walk in a dealership of a Rolls Royce dealership or whatever kind of car you're looking to drive. Same thing with homes. You can go online now and you can search Like I could go online right now and search for $20 billion or $20 million homes in the islands. I mean, it's easy to do. You use your imagination. So you got to tap into your imagination. But for you, you want to define what does it mean for you to be living that wealthy life? Because for you, it might be different to what it might be for somebody else. So determine what it means to you, and then use your imagination, and then create a script. Create your own power life script of you living that life. And then you describe it and you define it and you feel emotionally connected to it and you write it out as if it's already here right now. You connect to it and then you start living it. You live it in your mind first. You live it in your heart first, long before you'll ever see the physical evidence of it in your life. That's how all manifestation occurs. All right, all of it. Okay, I'm just going to check the timing here. Oh, we're 1 minute away from the bottom of the hour. Just going to, oh, thanks, guys. I really appreciate your Tessa. That's very sweet of you. Daydream, says Gregory. Yes, you're absolutely right. Good to see you here again. All right, great stuff. Yes. Okay, you're very welcome, Rod. I love the Power Life script. Listen to mine every day, several times. Oh, awesome. All right, great. Oh, sorry I missed you on the Q&A call. We'll be doing another one on January 9th for the Pure Magic Monthly call. How long does it take visualizations typically to manifest? Don't know. Depends on the goal, depends on where you're at. And that's the thing, you don't know how much time. There's a law of gestation that determines there is a period of time when all goals will manifest into form. We don't know how long that is. So if you've got a goal that you love, most people underestimate how long it will take. Most people, they overestimate what they can do in 10 years, but they underestimate what they can do in a year. It's going to take as long as it takes. Like even when I set my goal to purchase that home, it took longer than what I would love, but it is what it is. You got to persist until you succeed. All right, guys, we are now at the bottom of the hour. I'm going to be back on Friday. Mark this down, Friday, December 20th, 12 noon Eastern time for 2 hours. I'm going to do a very special session. I'm going to talk about the 25 greatest lessons I have learned in my 25 years of running my business, because on Friday, it'll be the 25th anniversary of Dynamic Destinies being incorporated. So I'm going to do a special session for 2 hours for free. I'm going to do it on YouTube. I'll do it on Instagram. I'll do it on Facebook Live. So we'll do 3 platforms at one time. All right. I've already prepared. This is really good stuff. This is the best of what I've learned from 25 years. So mark it down in your agenda. Yes, we will be recording it. Yes, you'll be able to have access to the recording. So if you're on my email list, and then you'll get a notification. If you're not on my email list, get on my email list. Go to this link, and Selena posted both here on Instagram and on Facebook. So go to morningmanifestation.com. morningmanifestation.com. Those are my free morning videos. I do them Monday, Wednesday, Friday. They're free messages of manifesting techniques. Selena's going to type it in both Instagram and Facebook, morningmanifestation.com. All right, go there, sign up, you'll get notified. And if you register for the event that I'm doing on Friday, you will get access to the replay. All right. Thank you very much. All right, you'll get access to the replay. We'll also be posting it up on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. And my YouTube channel is youtube.com/Peggy McColl. I think that's what it is. Selena will post it up here for you, so you'll have it. She's going to get it here right now. Fiona, you're very welcome. Great to hear. Oh, thanks, Genevieve. Good to hear that you're loving it. Laurette, really appreciate you guys being here. All right, great. Okay, guys, nice to be with you. Remember, morningmanifestation.com to get signed up on my email list, and it's Friday at noon. I'll be doing that special event. All right, guys, we'll see you in a couple days. All right, thank you so much for being with me. I really appreciate it.